Alright, now in this example, we're asked to simplify this expression using properties of exponents. So first things first, I have a negative exponent right here. Now remember that what a negative exponent means, if we think of both of these as being over 1, is that I have this many of whatever this is. So in this case I have 6 2's being multiplied together, but the negative tells me they're not here. They're in the other position on the fraction, which in this case would be on the bottom. If I so happen to have 1 over 2 to the negative 6, that would mean that I'd have 6 2's, but they would be on top instead. The negative you can think of as saying they're in the wrong spot. Put them in the other spot in the fraction. So in the example that we actually have with 2 to the negative 6 on top, that needs to go to the bottom. So I would rewrite this as 1 over 2 to the positive 6 times 2 to the 4th over 1. So now, remember when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. So this would become 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 6th. And there's several ways to approach this as long as you use the properties of exponents in the correct way. I'm going to go straight to splitting it up a little. I'm going to say I have 2 to the 4th on top. And on the bottom, 2 to the 6th. Is there a way I could write that as two separate products? Well, I could say this is 2 to the 4th times 2 to the, well, how many more do I need to make 6? 2. So that would be 2 squared. And now notice, I've got 2 to the 4th on top and 2 to the 4th on the bottom. So if I cross these out, remember those divide into each other, so you're left with 1. I wind up with 1 over 1 times 2 squared, which 2 squared is just 4, so this comes out to be just 1 over 4. And so that is the answer. And now, just in case you're not too comfortable with that way of doing it, let me show you one other way, just because there's so much freedom here on what order you do these things in. So the other way is, remember, when you multiply two numbers that have the same base, you just combine the exponents, you just add them. That's how I split the 6 apart down here as 4 plus 2. So let's say we just did that first, before I bothered with signs. Well, then I would have 2 to the negative 6 plus 4, because the bases match and we're multiplying. I'll just add the exponents. Well, what is negative 6 plus 4? Well, that is going to be negative 2. You can think of it that you owe $6 and you pay 4 back, so you still owe 2. But now we're right back to, what does this negative mean on an exponent? It means you have two 2's, but they're in the bottom. They don't belong up here. They belong in the bottom of this fraction. Instead of 2 to the negative 2 over 1, I'll just rewrite this as 1 over 2 to the 2, or 2 to the 2nd power. And once again, I wind up with 1 over 2 squared, or 1 over 4. There's still other ways you could do this, but there's two different approaches. Either way, as long as you're careful and follow your exponent rules, you'll get the same answer, and that is this example.